All right. All right, what's going on YouTube? Today we have a low taper for y'all today. Nice, clean, low temp taper on the side. And then we're cutting the sides down, wavelength for our client, not applying. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing that we're gonna be doing with our client is pinning everything up. We cannot cut the hair properly or we cannot see what we need to cut because the hair is kind of leaned down. So what we're gonna be doing, we are gonna be taking a little bit of length, kind of just shaping it up at the top. We're gonna be pinning it up with these little clips. If you want these little clips, let me zoom in for y'all. And y'all, we do everything live on this channel. If y'all want these little clips, they'll be in the description for the products that y'all can purchase. Easy, nice little link. Got that link for y'all. Got that link going on. So we're gonna continue to pin all this up. And then now that everything's pinned up, we're gonna comb down brush down everything that we will be cutting and lining up. You don't want none of these hairs up here to kind of get in the way. So what you can do, what I used to do, brush up, pin it down with your finger, and then brush everything down. And this allows the hair that you truly need to cut to lay down, and then all the other hairs will go straight up. So you don't interfere with his length or anything like that. All right, y'all, because his hair is not that thick, we will be setting in our guidelines real fast. So low tape right here by his ear. It might be different from anybody. It really depends on how much room that your client has to work with. But we're gonna be setting our first guideline right there. The only reason why we're doing our guideline first without cutting anything down is because we can physically see where we're placing our trimmer. Dang, y'all, client switched up the haircut on this mid video. You're gonna be doing a mid tape. So for a mid tape, so this is good because y'all can see this is the low tape lines. For a mid tape, I do like a horizon or a half a moon. A mid tape is a little bit higher. Then I'm gonna mess up the whole video. Not applying. So a mid tape is a little bit higher than a low tape, but it still keeps that C cup. You still want enough room to keep that C cup available. Y'all gonna see whenever we line our clients. Yo, so that's why it's important to keep like a reference point, like with the ears and everything, so everything can be nice and even. You don't want to set a guideline up guideline in way up here and then one way down there. So that's why it's good to have little points like that. And yes, we are using our trimmers. We are creating a harsh guideline. When you're scale barbing, you know how to take that guideline out. You're not worrying about it. So on the back of our client's neck, he has only so much room to work. So you want to preserve this as much as possible, but we don't want to set this guideline in right there. Only because I'm gonna let y'all see real quick. Let's say I set my guideline in right there and I'm basically tapping on the skin, barely pressing on it. He's not gonna have no room for no fade right here. So what we're gonna complement that by going up like this and then curving down just like that. Just to complement the lack of hair that was right there that we would have used for the beginning of our taper. The next step is finding out what length we're gonna put or take our client's hair down to. By looking at it, a 2 guard will be way too thick, so we're gonna try to start off with a 1.5 and see how that does. Level all the way close, and we're going with the grain. With the grain is the exact way that the hair is physically laying. That's way too thick. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, open up the level all the way, and we're gonna go against the grain all the way to this point right here. A 1.5 cuts it down low enough, and it's still thick enough to where the client don't look like he has no crazy disconnected cut. Yeah, that's perfect enough for me. So we're gonna continue to do this all throughout the rest of the hair. So the first step when it comes to fading, we're gonna be opening our lever all the way. And we're going in the same rainbow or horizon shape that we have. Level all the way open. And then we're gonna start slowly moving the lever down and working towards the bottom. Well, the first guideline that we had first set in. You could barely see the first guideline that we had set in, the horizon. You want to make sure whatever you set that first guideline in, that's how you want to fade. And we're doing the process of down fading. On this channel, we do a lot of down fading because that preserves the hair so we don't fade up too high and mess up our fade or mess up our blend. And now we go to a 1.5. This is the guard that we cut everything down with, but we close it a tad bit. And we just slowly move down to reach level all the way close. Now we get our 0.5. What I do now, I skip a guard, which will be the 1 guard in between the 1.5 and the half guard. I just go straight to the half guard, level all the way close, notch at that line, open up the level all the way. Now we move down, fading, until you successfully feel like all that's faded out. Now we pick up with the 1 guard, level all the way open, we just move down. These steps are very, 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 very easy, y'all. And people actually get better off of these steps. Now what you would notice right here, we're gonna zoom in for y'all. Boom. The dark marks, the dark spots. So right here, right there, right there. Not more so over here, but probably like right there and right there. That's why you have to develop your barber's eye. We're gonna detail and we're gonna get those dark marks out. So level all the way open. And we kind of just slice, breaking the hairs up, brushing the hairs, but breaking the hairs up so that the blend could look smooth. Just like that. And you're gonna keep doing this, detailing, blending, smoothing out the blend until it's like pixelated almost. This is what the best haircut people do, the best barbers. When you see that blurry blend, that clean, smooth, buttery blend, it's from people going back and detailing their work. This is how you get a smooth blend. And they do have this technique, the rake down technique. This smooths out the blend as well. Just like that, y'all. Boom. And on the opposite side, it should be the same exact thing. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat process. You don't want to switch up your steps, especially when you're cutting the same person. You don't want to switch up steps. You want to keep everything consistent so you can have a nice, consistent haircut. You don't want to blend one side higher than the other or anything like that. And then now we're going to do the same exact thing to the back. We're going to be fading like this and then slowly moving down. It might be a little bit different for y'all when it comes to fading like that. We had to make that small adjustment just so the blend and everything can look right for our clients. And notice how his hair, this goes down, but then right here, it wants to swerve this way. So you have to turn your clippers to the side and fade like that. So keep everything consistent. Go through the same exact processes that y'all have, the same exact steps, and it should turn out fire. And now we start our lineup up. Boom. Alcohol cotton swab. Now, this is like a simplified version of it. For the front, I do something a little bit different. It's a little bit more advanced. But all you're doing is wiping down the designated areas that you will be lining up. Now we're gonna be using cold air. And yo, if y'all clients' alcohol pad is like dark, like dark black, dark brown, I mean that boy don't take bath. Or it just means he just not cleaning his skin or his scalp, washing his hair properly. What I advise y'all is to make sure your clients are washing your hair, washing their hair before they come get a haircut. I don't do hair washes. It takes more time and you have to charge more for that, obviously. Time is money. So to prevent from all that happening, I tell my clients to try to wash or try to have a clean head before they actually come to the shop. So you don't have to wash, like you wouldn't have to wash your hair that day and y'all about to apply some holding spray. Holding spray is what's gonna give that firm hold so you get that crisp lineup that we want, y'all. And also what helps with a crisp lineup is washing your hair. You wouldn't even need holding spray, believe it or not. You wouldn't even need holding spray if your client will wash his or her hair. So it makes the job a lot more easier. You could get a better blend like that. Better everything. Whenever you wash your hair, it's better everything. So in cold air, y'all, we're using cold air for this. We're not using hot air. Not using warm air. We don't want the holding spray to liquefy or anything like that or mess up our, what we got going. So we use cold air. And then after that, this is the more advanced part right here. Remove this one, lean our client back. And then we use our foam aftershave mousse. Preferably not mousse, because mousse is a stiffening thing. This is meant to lay the hair down and kind of manipulate the hair, get the hair kind of just laying right like how we want to. It's not meant to clean. The alcohol is meant to clean. And we use a white towel. And let this sit there on your client for at least like, I want to say probably like 2 minutes. Whenever the towel gets cold, that's when you take it off. And basically what we do is wipe all this excess off his scalp, all the whiteness. And then we proceed with the normal stuff that we do, y'all. The alcohol, wiping it down, cold air. Then we put the holding spray on our client, cold air again. And then we lean our client up and start our lineup process. All right, y'all, after y'all done with that, start the lineup. Do the back, angle it a little bit. And yeah, we switch trimmers for this. And all you're doing is just tapping. Tapping and going. And these are the T-paws, but they do have the cycle blade on now. So I don't know if y'all can see that now. We're gonna move this in a little bit closer for y'all so y'all can see. Put it down a little bit more. Right down. Make sure you're keeping or using the edge of your trimmer blade when working around the ear. Just like that, y'all. Boom. And for the front lineup, you always start at the top of the C cup. Boom. Use half your blade to put that first indent. And then go back down to the bottom. We're not going to go straight, but we're going to curve it a little bit like that. Just so it could get that deep C cup look. Using the corners and then meet the two spots. Just like that. That's a perfect C cup, y'all. Perfect C cup. Just like that. And then we also gonna add in the vertical bar. You wanna lean your clippers or tilt your clippers just so it can give off that boxy effect whenever you fully line up your client. Just like that, y'all. Look how good they look. So when doing the opposite side, take our trimmers. You do wanna lift this down a little bit, like make sure there's no tension, because you don't want it to add buku tension. And then when you take it out, the client lineup look all crooked because the tension is there. Use your trimmer, go from one side to the other. Add a small little indent, making sure they're even. And then you go in and continue by adding the C cup. You're also placing the vertical bar in the same exact spot, y'all. So this vertical bar lands almost at the edge of his eyebrows. So we're gonna do the same exact thing with this side. Just like that, y'all. And then for the front line, what you do is start in the middle, use his eyebrows, find the middle, make a small indent, and then work your way towards the designated side. I usually pick the weak side, but our client here, we're gonna switch trimmers. Our client here doesn't have a strong side or a weak side. He pretty much has a full in contact lineup, y'all, which is good. So, and make sure while doing a lineup, you're stepping back and you're moving in, making sure that you're on track, making sure the lineup is on track, making sure if we need to make any micro adjustments, we can do so. Just like that, y'all. And we work our way towards the other side, matching the two. All right. And this lineup is already crispy pretty much, but we about to add on a little bit of enhancements, y'all. Just to make it look a little bit better, and we spraying it light. It might seem like I'm doing a lot, but I'm not doing a lot. You spraying it light because I like an enhanced but natural type of look. So, and all this does is make the liner pop out a little bit more than usual. I sure watch the whole entire process. With this hamstring injury, play through it around it whatever he needs to do. Believe him ready to go away. We've seen him do it past seasons, then yes. All right, it looked perfect to me. Now we're about to lean them back, do the razor blade, and that'll be it. And y'all, I did just come from the Houston barber expo. It was pretty fun. Pretty fun, very knowledgeable. So that's why it's important to go to these events, to be around like-minded people and whatnot, and get your education, learn. You go about furthering your education with this. So, and all we're doing is just stretching the skin, and then a little pressure with the razor blade. And this is gonna create, they don't have no pencil on my client, but this creates a nice, basically light pencil line that I preferably like a lot better than doing a harsh pencil line. Season alive line. He's coming off back-to-back complete games. The Birds are going at 1 with many pitches, up to 4 of them were hitting low-key on the edges. So it's hard to square them up. You only give up 5.9 hits for 9 innings for the season. All right, y'all. So this is the haircut right here. Boom, boom, nice, clean, mid tape instead of the low tape. But look, it's HYB. If you're not handling your business and what you're doing, and we out.
Benny, please don't do anything crazy.